Always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Greetings.
Go! Die! Die! Quick! Die! Quick! 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 Die!
Whoa!
Quick! Go! Ja!
Whoa! Whoa!
Lord be with you. What can I do for you?
The Ruthard sent me.
What's that to do with me? Those days when Ruthard was the Lord of Malashov are over. I don't want to have anything more to do with him, so you can be on your way.
He sends you his regards. And he asked me to remind you that he's still paying for masses for your family, as the two of you agreed.
Sakura. Nobody knows about that, but...
That's why he told me. So you'd be sure I really did come from them, and this isn't...
Sorry for being a bit hostile-like, but times are tough. Good to hear that Sir Quinlan still has a few friends left. Give him my greetings, and thank him for still honoring our agreement.
Sure. I'll pass that on to him.
So, tell me, what did the Ruthard...
I've got to get into Malashov to free a friend.
What, all alone? Maybe I should send...
Don't worry, I'll figure it out. Lord Ruthard told me about a secret passage. What I need from you is to get a fresh horse ready for my friend. A fast one.
Well, you sure ain't lacking. A fresh, fast horse don't come cheap. But fine, since you're from Sir Quinlan, I'll have it ready for you. Somewhere a bit further from here so I don't get in the shit if things go sideways.
Of course. The last thing I want is to and the Ruthards promised to pay for the horse if it comes to any harm.
All right. So look, here next to the stud farm there's a kind of band of rocks below the forest. When you go alongside the rocks to the end, you'll find a wooded copse not far from the castle. There's a well-trodden patch of ground there, so that's where I'll have that horse ready for. Hopefully, nothing will happen to him if I just leave him there. Recently...
Thanks.
Tell me more about this secret passage. They say there's one here somewhere, but...
I don't know exactly where it is yet. Rosa told me that I should look. It's supposed to be bloody well hidden.
That sounds clever. Sir Quinlan banned cutting down trees some time ago in the forest alongside the path next to the stream. If you need any equipment, you can... And I'm sure you'll also need some torches in there.
Don't worry.
Hey, now that I think about it, I don't know what you'll find there or how prepared you are for, but you shared a secret with me, so I can tell you a few tricks. I know it well, and I've...
Thanks, Hashtal. I'll consider it.
Well, apart from praying, I wish you the best.
This must be the chapel Rosa was talking about. I was supposed to look through its arch for some old ruins. Well, let's see. The chapel directed me here. There's no doubt about that. So somewhere around here, I have to find a stone cross, and then go in the direction the top is pointing. cross in stone. This could be the place Rosa mentioned. I'll grab the spade and see if I'm in the right place. A tough job, but it was worth it. The way to Malashov is clear. Damn it, that's cold. What's this door doing here? Could it be another of the Ruthard's tricks? But if this beam is dropped onto those cleats, no one would break through in a hurry. I reckon with this, any defenders could hold off their pursuers for quite some time. This will come in handy on the way back. This looks like it could be the wall of the Malashov cellars. There's no going back. This is it. All right then. Courage, Henry. Courage. You can do this. This is going to take a while.
And Ruthard and Liechtenstein are turning the Kuttenberg houses against us.
Bavag will deal with Ruthard. But Liechtenstein is your concern. How come you haven't caught him yet?
He's slippery as an eel. He's hiding somewhere in the Jewish quarter. I sent spies to track him down, but they never came back.
Flush him out of that hole of his. For fuck's sake!
Why such concern, Otto? Kuttenberg is ours. Sigismund has the reins firmly in his hands.
He's got fuck all in his hands. Sigismund thought at first he'd come to terms with his brother Wenceslas, clear the way for him to the imperial throne, and take the Bohemian throne for himself. But Wenceslas couldn't even get off his drunken ass and go to Rome for the coronation. And now, the glorious Hungarian king has fallen for Jobst and his damned truce. He's been taken in by that treacherous turncoat.
Jobst betrayed Wenceslas. Then Sigismund, and now us. He fooled all of us. But what can he really do against us,
I'll tell you what. While pretending to parley, he incensed the Hungarian nobles against Sigismund.
Surely Sigismund's army can deal with that inconvenience.
Ha! He was paying his Cumans by letting them pillage Bohemia. He set half the people against him in the country he wants to rule. And now, there is nothing left to plunder. While we are shuffling our feet here, Jobst is surely mustering an army.
What are we going to do?
We've got Cabon. That'll keep Hanush and the Lipa people at bay. If they ever want to see their heir alive.
Jobst has Liechtenstein mustering other allies for him. We get him in our grasp, and Jobst will be like a fish out of water in Bohemia.
I'll drag him out of that Jewish den with my own 2 hands. Count on me, sir.
The betrayers of Christ, hiding a betrayer. They are rich. All that's needed is a good pretext.
The Kuttenbergers will be quite happy if their debts to those usurers happen to go up in smoke.
Yeah.
You're learning fast, young man.
The gate open. A horseman, sir!
Hanush is out of the game. The Kuttenbergers are taken care of, and we'll catch Liechtenstein. You'll see, my friend. Good times are coming.
Your Graces, King Sigismund is convening the town council, but first he requests your presence at the Sedlitz monastery, without delay.
What's all the urgency about?
Surely you must know that yourself, sir. The captives fled Trotsky Castle and killed Istvan Toth while escaping.
What? That's not possible. That's a lie.
It is true, Lord Toth is dead.
Speak!
The messenger said something about Cobbler's bastard and some outlaws.
I swear, by everything that is holy, I will find that horse and I will rip out his heart!
Jesus. What's with that boy?
Sir Istvan was like a father to him. You better go. Bring the horses!
Shame about that dog.
Lord
Luck was on my
Von
side.
had to leave
Now
on
to find
important
Capon
business for
and
King
get out of
Sigismund,
here.
and he took a small escort with him, so the garrison is slightly weakened now. So, be extra alert on your watch. If I find anybody slacking off, they'll get the win. Got it. Jeffo, I'll send Hyman to the gate. You'll be in charge of the southern and eastern fortifications.
All right, Conrad. I'll get right on it.
Franz, run along back to the guardhouse and get some sleep. You don't fall asleep during the night watch. Rest if you know your home. You'll be sorry if you don't. Don't drink. I understand. I'll get right.
So, who's got to take what?
Oof. Luck was on my side. Now to find Capon and get out of here.
Conrad sends us to keep watch here.
I think you're just holding up here. I'll ask him first thing tomorrow and see what he tells me.
Wait, Mom.
We're on Conrad's blacklist, and ever since he yelled at you last time, I reckon you are too. So what do you say we help each other out a bit here? We'll hole up a bit downstairs, and you won't say anything to the captain about it.
Have no fear. We'll just have a little nibble, with your kind permission.
And we'll be as quiet as mice in the hall. We won't disturb you, trust me.
I hope so. Now off with you.
I feel a little sorry for her, with nobody taking her seriously around here. She's some third-rate daughter of some lord from who knows where, so she was actually quite lucky that old Otto took a liking to her. The thing is, everybody knows where she comes from and treats her accordingly.
What is happening? Who are you?
Quiet. If you make a peep, we're done for.
Henry?
Good God, Henry.
What are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing? Hunting boar? Came to save your noble arse.
My noble arse thanks you. Oh, how did you get here?
I'll tell you later. Who's this?
Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. At your service.
Brabant led the defense at Kuttenberg. He's Sigismund's prisoner, same as me.
And I came very close to holding the town. Besides...
There's no time for chit-chat. He's our ally. We can't leave him behind. Right, no doubt you've got a cunning plan for us to get out of here, right? Well, let's hear it.
Of course I have a plan. Listen, I got to the fortress through a secret passageway that old Ruthard told me about. Von Bergov knows nothing about it.
C'est magnifique. Very cunning.
And so far, the garrison has no idea I'm here. We're lucky von Burgov left the fortress along with von Aulitz and some of the garrison. So I'll take you to that passageway, and we'll get out of here. We'll get to the forest not far from here. I'll have some horses ready there. We'll be gone before you can say the Lord's Prayer.
Formidable. I call that an elegant plan. I myself had to sneak like that once during the siege of Arezzo. So, what are we waiting for? On y va?
Wait. A passageway, you say? A dark, narrow passageway?
Well, it's just a passageway. There's a bit of water in it to wade through, but nothing we can't handle.
You can forget about it. I'm not going through any passageway.
What?
Let me repeat. No passageway for me. It's not the chivalrous way.
It is not chivalrous, c'est vrai, but in our situation, it is more than delicious.
Oh, and how would you like to get out of here chivalrously, your lordship?
What do I know? We could maybe break down the gate.
Un moment. Henri, you said that von Bergov left. Is that not so?
Yes.
And what about horses? Are there any horses left here?
I think there's a couple, yeah. In the lower courtyard.
Très bien. That will be... But I think we could get there stealthily. It is not far from the tower to the stables. Then you simply open the gate, et voila, we are gone! Just like I escaped when surrounded by that English dog, John. It may not be the best plan. It was not back then either.
That's a wonderful plan! No passageways! But we need some weapons.
Exactement, to have a proper...
Thanks, Henry. I feel better already.
A nice piece. And what do you have for me? Merci mille fois. Now I will show them just what a Cavalier Vauquelin Brabant is.
Good work, Henry. What now?
I'll go ahead and scout it out. When there's a suitable moment, I'll let you know and you can head out.
And how will you let us know?
Well, the stables can be seen from the entrance hall. If you signal us with a torch from next to the horses, we'll head towards you.
Agreed. Good idea.
But you must be absolutely certain that the way is clear. If you have any doubt, do not risk our lives. Better to come back to us, and we shall go together.
True. And if we don't hear from you or see your...
Précisément. We cannot sit here.
Right. Got it.
Rabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal.
I think it would be better if you watch the stairs.
Why's that?
You are younger. You have better hearing.
Wait! It was here just a minute ago! There's a thief! Wait! You're that thief! He's hiding somewhere over there! That's why... Thief! Go and arrest him! Quickly!
Ah! 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 Ah!
Punishment by the blade, my favorite.
Don't think I won't cut you to pieces. Show your stuff.
The pillory's too good for you. I'll chop you up on the spot.
Won't get away with that, bastard!
Punishment by the blade, my favorite.
I must be mad.
We'll see about that.
Supposed to be keeping watch or polishing the armor somewhere?
Conrad sent us to keep watch here.
I think you're just holding up here. I'll ask him first thing tomorrow and see what he tells me.
Wait, Mom. We're on Conrad's blacklist, and ever since he yelled at you last time, I reckon you are too. So what do you say we help each other out a bit here? We'll hole up a bit downstairs, and you won't say anything to the captain about it.
Have no fear. You just have a little nibble.
And we'll be as quiet as mice in the hall. We won't disturb you, trust me.
I hope so. Now off with you.
With nobody taking her seriously around here. She's some third-rate daughter of some lord from who knows where, so she was actually quite lucky that old Otto took a liking to her. The thing is, everybody knows where she
get on my fucking nerves. I'll get right on to it. I gave her
But I'd rather talk about it over a pint of... Good idea. And let's bring some dice. Revolution will take the dice. Oh, we'll see about that. Sorry for her, with nobody taking her seriously around here. She's some third-rate daughter of some lord from who knows where, so she was actually quite lucky that old Otto took a liking to her. The thing is, everybody knows where she comes from.
Of course I have a plan. I got to the... So, we're lucky, so we'll get to...
So, wait.
Well, it's...
You can... I'm not...
What?
Let it... It is...
Oh, and how...
What do I... Un moment.
Yes?
And what...
I think...
Très bien, but then it means time has... That's but... Exact...
Thanks, Henry.
And I... Merci, me.
Good work.
I'll go.
And how...
Agreed.
But
True.
Right.
Brabant, keep watch by the stairway. I'll go to the window and wait for Henry's signal.
I think it would be better if you watch the stairs.
Why's that?
You are younger. You have better hearing.
You said you wanted to stop a dozen English spies. So you can surely handle one stairway.
I discovered them because I smelled them from a distance. You see, les Anglais seem to hide. Eh bien, I will watch the stairs if Monsieur le Chapon so insists.
What's going on? There's nothing happening here now. Or is there? It seems I missed it.
Horses are here. As soon as it's safe, I should give Capon the signal. Well, that's that. Now I just need to wait for Capon. Lord Jesus Christ, stand by our side.
The gate, Henry. Quick.
I must admit, mes amis, the last time I have had such a suspense was when I was rescuing the King of France.
Oui, monsieur, you are surely brave. And fortune favors le brave. Yeah! Free at last!
Thank you for coming for me, Henry. You're a great friend. The best I could wish for.
After today, you may also count me among... your friends. I, Vauquelin Brabant, chevalier, aventurier et voyageur. I'm at your service, mon brave Henri. And I have an excellent idea. In your honor, I shall name my new horse after you.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Vacula.
My name is Vauquelin.
Vauquelin?
Vauquelin. Vauquelin.
Vauquelin... would you mind if I just call you Brabber?
Brabant. En.
Brabant?
Que peut-on y faire? It will have to do. Do not concern yourself, mon ami. Clearly, you are not talented in any art of conversation. But at least you have courage and other skills. You carried out the entire operation truly brilliantly. I could not have done it much better myself. And look, mon ami, how the fresh air suits Monsieur Chapon. He has finally stopped drawing in self-pity.
What self-pity, damn it? I was locked up for days in a tiny stinking room.
Ah, come now, mon cher. Luck was simply not on your side for once. That is all. Now we are finally free. The time has come for grand deeds. I did not waste my time in captivity. I fought everything over diligently. Listen.
Please, I'd prefer not to.
What's your plan, Sir Baron?
An heroic deed about which odes shall one day be composed, similar to my feat in the famous Battle of Arezzo.
But what would you do now?
What if we were to journey to Vienne? We could assemble a company and liberate le roi Wenceslas.
Or are you overdoing it a bit? We don't have the resources for a mission like that.
De ne sais qu'excuses, but means. I know many important people in Vienne itself who owe me favors. It will suffice to pull a few strings.
You must be mad. You've been free less than a day, and you're already thinking up ways to get yourself killed. I'd rather endure Hanish's preaching about my incompetence than listen to this chatter. We'll see what happens next. But the first thing that I need is to get good and drunk. We should spur the horses on. God knows, they might be hot on our heels. Yeah! wounds. Such destruction and havoc.
War. Monsieur Chapon, you have yet to participate in a real battle. But I fought against les Valaques at Naples, and les Anglais in Bourgogne. And that is how war looks, whether in Italy or La Bohème. It is always the same.
That's not war, it's barbarism. What value did this village have?
Eh bien, I would estimate 5 courtyards. Annual revenues could be perhaps, several hundred groschen?
That's not what I meant, Bacalin. No fortress. Maybe one fortified courtyard. Practically insignificant militarily. That's not how war should be fought. This is unjust.
Do not give way to sentimentality, monsieur. A village could harbor spies and saboteurs or supply the enemy, and destroying enemy assets is an effective tool of war. Wars are not decided only in battles. There are not even many of those. To strike in the rear, make the enemy lose and bleed. That is how most conflicts are fought. However, wait a year or two, the village will be settled. The population will increase again. That is how it always happens.
But we're the nobility. Our task is to lessen the chances of such things happening.
You're right, Hans. We must find allies and put a stop to it as soon as possible, so we can save as much as we can.
Yes, but we failed in Trotsky. And now this is our punishment.
I see that short captivity has turned you into a philosopher, Lord Capon. You should apply to the Faculty of Arts before the muse lifts you again.
Here!
this pair of scoundrels.
I fucked everything up.
Oh, get up, lad. Everyone makes mistakes. Only a better man owns up to them. At least we know now what kind of vermin we're dealing with.
What brings you here? We just escaped from Malashov, and right now
There's no time for haste. One thing at a time, my boy. Word reached Ratai that you pair got yourselves into a nice mess. I'm glad to see you both in one piece. So...
It's best if Henry tells you. I wasn't around for half of it.
No sooner had we spied Trotsky on the horizon than everything started to go to hell. We made camp by a pond with the intention of heading for the castle at first light. Only we were ambushed by bandits in the evening. They killed all our men and took everything they could carry, including the letter for von Berghoff.
And how did you two manage?
Just by a stroke of good luck. We were both in a bad way. We might not have made it if a local herb woman hadn't taken care.
Only after that, we couldn't get into the castle, though. We looked like a pair of beggars.
And the bastards treated us as such.
But you did get into Trotsky in the end, didn't you?
Von Berghoff received us and heard us out. It seemed like he was on our side. We even helped him out several times. Until we found out he was just stringing us along. It all came out after we set out with von Bergov's men to deal with the bandits who were rampaging in his domain. The same ones who attacked us at the start.
Only they ambushed us and took me and Henry captive for ransom.
But it turned out these very outlaws are on our side. They're fighting for King Wenceslas on the orders of Sokol of Lamberg.
Well, I'll be damned.
So von Bergov has been the real enemy all this time. And Zizka is actually our ally.
Zizka. He's the captain of those outlaws. That name doesn't ring a bell.
I think you'll meet him soon enough.
What impression did he make on you?
He's an interesting fella. Handy with a weapon, but also pretty tricky. It's best to keep a fella like that on your side.
He made quite an impression on me, for one. I'll be happy to see him again. But if only it didn't have to be in Raborsch. Why Raborsch?
We're riding to a gathering of King Wenceslas's supporters. If fortune favors us, the future fate of the kingdom will be decided there.
If we keep standing around here gabbing about it...
Patience, my friend. This pair have just returned from the clutches of the enemy. No doubt they have something to...
Like how in the devil did you manage...
I was helped by the Ruthard family, the former rulers of Malashov, in exchange for dealing with some trouble they had with Ulrich of Raditz.
Ulrich Favak? But he's the mint master.
Well, he won't be for long, if it comes to light that he's been putting his sticky fingers on the royal silver.
It seems you've been pretty busy.
But don't forget to say what you found out from von Bergov in Malashov.
Sigismund has convened the city council. Markvart von Aulitz will be there with him, too. The word is, Sigismund is going to make an important announcement there.
He picked a nice time for it. But at least he won't be sticking his nose into...
Now, if we had one of our people at that assembly, we'd get Sigismund's plans nice and fresh. Straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
My very words. And I know exactly who to send. Young Lord Capon will go with us to Raborsch, but you'll have to return to the city right away, and try to worm your way into the town hall.
What? How can I get in there? I can't just walk in off the street.
You've got the dirt on Vavak, and you don't know how to. Just tell him either he gets you into the council chamber, or you get him on the gallows.
It's worth a try.
I hope that assembly really is important. If Sigismund is just going to announce an increase in taxes, there's not much point in my being...
Well, at least you can enjoy watching the long faces of the councillors when they're here. And don't worry, I'll eat and drink in Raborsch on your behalf.
If I come back and find you there under lock and key again, I'll leave you to rot.
T'inquiète. I will go as well, and I will not let your friend...
Hans?
Who? Vaclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo, at your service.
He was a captive of Lord von Bergov's, like me. He defended Kuddenberg.
In that case, he'll be a welcome guest.
You don't know what you're promising, Baron. Watching Sir Hans is a job and a half.
The main thing is to watch out for yourself, Henry. As soon as you can do so without raising suspicion, come and join us.
He'll manage it, but now we really need to...
Safe travel, Henry.
Adieu et bonne chance.
And to you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. I ought to go and see Rosa when I'm in town. No doubt she'd like to know how it went with that book.
Nice.
Taking their time again. Hey, where's that here?
Pardon me.
God, what's taking so long?
My humble respects. I'm sorry.
One beer.
I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Just watch where you go next time.
I've got... You're always welcome here.
I'm sorry.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Whoa, whoa.
Yes? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I'm expecting an important visitor. Greetings.
I'd like
I'd
like you to give me a good scrub and take...
Excellent.
I'll glad...
All right. What?
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
What would you like?
I'd like...
What's it?
I need a...
Excellent.
Let's talk...
Wonderful.
Ah. You're as clean as can be. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
What do you want? What?
I'd like a pretty girl.
My girls know how.
Well, I really need...
Excellent.
I'll gladly pay...
Excellent.
Don't be afraid to tell me what you want next time. There's no need to be embarrassed. Anyway, now to have a bath.
Christ! Pardon me.
Don't worry. The doors would be closed if you were.
Stop that whistling.
What are you whistling for?
I'm sorry.
Service is kind of slow today.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Right. What the hold up? Am I supposed to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
I'd like to play
What?
Emperor.
Let's.
Come on then, show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first time.
Back already?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It sure does.
I hope I'll throw higher.
What can I say? Prague is a whole different world compared to this old place.
Did you bring anything back with you?
Why'd I even start playing?
And a whole lot of gossip.
A big city. There's no place like it.
Can't be. It just can't be. What rotten luck. I won't get that one back.
To good health! Christ, pardon me.
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Whoa!
I ought to go and see Rosa. She'll be expecting me. And I mustn't forget about the city council.
Sorry.
By the way, like you were saying about that book,
My favourite book? Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
I read a bit of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should I know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
That's a tempting notion. Who knows? In another life, I might have become a writer.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
My pleasure.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal part.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men, so I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
Well, I admire courage in girls. They're weaker than men, and life is rarely easy for them. But they still don't give up.
Do you know one like that? Tell me about her.
How could I not? After all, I'm looking at her.
You think I'm brave? Father says I'm more rash, always acting before thinking.
Well, nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, you're certainly brave.
Enough, you flatterer, or I shall blush. We'd better get to writing. Let's say we write about a woman who is brave and isn't afraid to say what she thinks. Would she do it for herself or for someone else?
For herself. She can afford to be a little selfish for once.
That may be true, but I still think it would sound better if she were also defending the interests of someone else. I'll figure it out somehow. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Lie on the ground on your stomach and swing your legs, but not much. Like you're lazing around.
Oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward. Don't worry. You can blame me for all the mistakes.
That's a good one. Nice.
So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
That's nice. A bit didactic, but not to the point of boring moral bludgeoning. And that's the way it should be. Sermons for ordinary people work in a similar way. They entertain and encourage, with a few lessons added in between.
You see, when I lead Mass one of these days, I'll certainly think of you. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so did I. And for that matter, you're an interesting girl, and I'd like to get to know you a little better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it would be enlightening for both of us. Perhaps I can show you my collection of hunting trophies.
That's a good one. You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd like to expand my horizons a little. What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
Could you teach me something?
Of course. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing... So, what would you like?
I'd like you to show me some archery tricks. You shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
Listen closely, so I don't have to repeat myself.
What smells good here?
Huh? What the... Wait, I'll go and see what's making that noise.
I apologize.
What?
Is this your first time riding a horse, you moron?
I'm going to see the Mint Master.
Any fool could say that. What do you want?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you'd better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission, otherwise you won't...
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve...
Well, no.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is zum Eisernen
What would work on him?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly.
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we both...
Have you stolen? Hey! Have you killed, you two? Hey! Are you the devil? Greetings. Huh? Real fuck. Praise the Lord.
Careful.
Do your shopping here, and you're in the clear.
Here they are.
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work.
No more than I'd expect after... And you impatient fella.
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, It's a bit of a pain in them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous.
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming. The more I think about it, the happier. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Tools! Iron tools! Tools here!
Vegetables, the finest wares, quality good. Wonderful horseradish.
Well, was it worth it?
It happens.
Just watch where you're going. Fine days and fine nights. Come and take your pick.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns, praying and...
Oh, that's enough. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter, in short, but when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their white Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. Some street gossip monger?
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Hey, waiter, pour me some Takai.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing.
Boy,
that
are you deaf,
Hackenby
sir? Wine. White.
Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Thank you.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeit
waiter,
this is.
Pour me some monastery wine.
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight?
Well,
exactly.
thank the Lord.
The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
Tokai,
We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Hey, where's my wife?
Sir?
We are more than familiar with the Yemmerlich state of our armory.
Well,
and the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or
youngster,
brothels?
some red!
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the
That's
city
not a good
fall
idea,
far
sir.
short of
Am I
covering all
supposed to
citizens'
die of
needs.
thirst here?
You're right,
or
Your
what?
Honor. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege
Is everything
of
all right?
Raborsch.
No.
Her
But
efforts
there's
are
nothing you can do
commendable,
about
but
it.
I don't.
Come closer.
It takes a firm hand.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs.
And
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the... Go and get it. And don't you make a mess.
Certainly. And they can get leeches.
certainly, sir. I'll be right back.
Come back with his strength.
You know what?
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths. Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness
Nice.
that's going on in there.
Whose
Keeping
silver
the
might this
city
be?
is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff.
Not so loud. And now go back to your job.
What you do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
And the full cup. He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit!
Hey,
you know
where's my
full
wife?
well. Everybody knows. He wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Well, Adam, and stop drinking. The king might come any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Red wine.
Compose myself.
Me? I beg your pardon. I demand that you...
Ruhe!
Sorry?
Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were
Thank you,
there,
Waiter.
weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What
I
happened
fancy
there?
some Tokai.
Leave nothing out.
Refill, boy.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly
Are
exaggerated.
you deaf or something?
I don't think
Wine.
Rutard will
White.
cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw
Well,
attention
thank
to
the
himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to
I'm
us
sorry.
first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want.
I'd like
I
some
suspect
monastery
the
wine.
gentleman from the
Refill
city's
my
sword
cup,
fighting
boy.
school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsooker.
Sir?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordmaster without a shred of proof.
As
We're
you
not
wish,
some old fishwives on the
Sir
market.
Ulrich.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that.
Come here for a moment.
There are more pressing matters
Everything
to
in
deal
order?
with.
Not
More
quite.
pressing than the
But I think you
open
might be able to
contempt
help
of
me.
the whole
Come
town
here.
garrison. The guards are...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here. I can't just get up and...
All day long.
All right.
I knew I could count. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But
Because I'm bored, and because I...
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers.
Ah, to hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
So, let's see.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? And did you count those wings?
I counted 24, sir.
And you counted correct. Good. Here you are, so you can have a bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
Since there is the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the mean... They are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery.
Hey, wait!
And they are going to mock a royal mining city.
Wine.
Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or report sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings with your
Waiter,
drunken ranting.
pour me red wine.
Even if you are in the right. And as for you, Endelin, haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the
I
experts
apologize.
from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than
Good.
the welfare
Now
of
run
the
along.
city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen.
Hey,
That
wait,
space
call me
in the
some
side
kind.
nave is mine.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Sir?
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral.
Thank you.
Just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Routard.
Azonal Gyurcseg össze, a legjobb katonákat, és keljenek útra!
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this band of fives!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. And you saved my neck and Henry's too. Who knows?
You know what? Do you know what?
We've had bandits, no...
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, maybe you should go and welcome some of them.
I wouldn't be... Who's that French fellow?
The great Baron Brabant. He's got more fairy tale.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have...
How does it feel to...
And no fear of that in my... Wine.
What do you plan to do?
What do you think? I'll leave that to the old...
Dear me, but I suppose I'll have to...
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of...
Oh, don't start with that.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're at.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you.
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell, and we are both a little on I'm Yehuda, and this...
Who would rather not be here Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is...
Because we all need to help each other, and why...
Do you want to make use of the council to improve the status of Jews?
Not at all. However, the situation in the town, you have men and weapons. We have the means.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and...
Everything in good time.
Did you come to lend money to...
Not to lend, but to give. Help...
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry.
Henry? That...
You know each other.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good...
Or maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead...
Wait. From Scarlet's?
Aye, that's right.
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the...
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, at least none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzig Kobyla, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other men.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like your...
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only...
Enough. I'd rather have a...
For that, there will be...
Good health.
L'chaim.
I'm glad this finally... Good health to you.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant. I am a warrior.
My word.
Mais non.
I beg your pardon.
But you see, the friend of my likable boy.
How come almost...
I am operating. My great Bennett there.
How did you end up...
Oh, and only... Oh.
So...
When they broke through the defense.
Oh?
Mine, but...
You say you're...
Jamais, I think...
Where have you...
But if you are, and if you... And you would... Which one do you...
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected.
And to yours. Could it have gone...
I would have expected a bit more sense from you. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be... By the way, I'm John of Lichten.
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of.
I have my... From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful.
Is that so?
Indeed. And...
It depends what it...
A little... I expect we can agree that you're... And the way it stands...
Well...
We'll sit, but we'll be waiting...
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp...
but Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to...
But he can't retreat either.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary For the plan to work, we need allies. Their money and we just need negotiate.
Are you saying you set everything in...
More like in parallel. If we find support and make it look like that...
Why are you doing all...
Because I want to put a stop to... And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and if you can get those 3 on our side, meanwhile...
Why me?
Because you've got a head on your shoulder. You and your friend... There aren't many...
What if it does?
I refuse to even...
I'll get on it.
I wish us but...
I'd rather discuss those...
Christ be praised. Jesus Christ be praised.
Don't shove!
God be with you. There's something I'd...
God be with you.
Your diplomat...
No beating around.
Margrave Jobs...
To...
Christ.
I should say so. All sorts of people, although...
How do you know Lichten?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plan, but they wouldn't dream of... While it seems...
I'd say you have a better...
Not only for people...
Then you're in the right place.
So?
Nothing more than support.
Nothing more? I'd say that's...
You manage large...
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care. If you want me to support you...
Do you have something in particular?
Well, one of...
who's that?
Harmon now.
Have you fallen out with the...
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. They're disappointed that and the fact that I'm...
And these...
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain...
You were dealing with the...
They were not the enemy at the time.
All right, I'll help you.
Alder will bring them to me, but watch yourself.
I'll tell you,
God grant you health,
nobody
sir.
has the likes of these.
I'd like to check your horses out.
Pa,
And you might not believe... Well, we haven't...
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize.
I want to have a word.
Well,
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation.
Is that your...
Unfortunately.
I came with a delegation from Sir...
Why so strict?
20 years ago, he was not... I got him a place only it wasn't long. And then I find out that he took his bull...
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer...
You have the impertinence to show me...
You're exaggerating.
Me? Except your horse wandering around.
Oh, actually, but maybe you ought to try it yourself.
You dishonor...
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor.
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those
We've never met.
You've got no other option.
Gentlemen, I can have a word in private.
Out of the question. And he's got plenty to...
You want satisfaction? Suit yourself.
After you.
Well, that's...
Shouldn't we rather...
No. Christopher...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Stand firm.
You're fast.
Otherwise, the first strike will put you on your
That
arm.
was sneaky. You son of a bitch.
Look in my eyes, not
Who taught you
at my
that?
sword.
That was sneaky.
Swing with your whole arm, not just
what
your
the-
wrist. You don't know which end of that thing is up. Left arm lower.
Who taught you that?
Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through. What's wrong with your legs?
Wanker! Not bad for a priest. That was sneaky. They teach you that in the seminary? Enough!
Wait.
That will do.
Things have calmed down, eh? Thank God.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could
I was in a war. And you ought to know yourself.
Aye.
So Father, only he'll...
I thought he would...
Not at all. When I was 6, he wouldn't talk to me for...
The first time he...
Look, but now...
And that's...
I've got to get...
Aren't we all on?
Maybe everyone's saying that.
Actually, I don't think you should even attempt.
What else can I...
I'll talk to him myself.
All right, then. It's a nice idea.
Only no one...
Alder's...
Leave Alder to me.
I don't know how to...
You can drag me...
What brings you here? Greetings.
Aren't you a bit...
What's your problem? The whole...
God forbid.
Not really.
Shall we...
Well, I'll wait at the table. You'd...
How was your trip? The journey?
I've got those
Quiet!
My lady, here they are. You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you.
Yes, quite.
How could I refuse?
And to the...
Too hard.
Sir Bochek,
A man, Yobs comes.
on the con...
Does that in...
Only in order...
You've got my...
Don't worry, it...
Really? Name it.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well...
I wouldn't mention the word...
All right. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord bless me with... I can't risk it all.
So you need guarantees that you won't be...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable...
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yit...
How about...
He's a youngster.
Shut of wine, thanks. He may be... He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate, that's his by right.
If he gets it. On the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and maybe it's not...
I'll convey your offer to Lord King.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, I'll be... The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly...
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies, and I'd be happier if they just...
But then you'd... It seems Liechtenstein's look...
And how's he gonna do it?
Well...
The only approach...
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. God forbid. Henry's not here now to...
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of...
A lot of people think the weather out of...
Oh, that's the big...
Well...
Sigismund, not to mention...
Everything all right?
I can't wait for it to end.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty...
Or pretty pissed off. We will leave us soon anyway. All of these...
Would you...
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone...
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons.
Sir.
Nor I, until now. I am
used to be.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Mark until the King decided...
Are you going to support the...
I haven't quite decided yet, but if our
Do you think you...
I doubt, and he knows.
We've got
more, so I...
served.
Even so...
And now look at us.
There's no point.
It was a...
Likewise.
I've got some good news.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole... There's some old bats, so at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get...
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hannah hears this. Now... Enough nonsense.
To your health. Innkeeper, up here. Your Grace.
Certainly.
Godwin.
Ah, now I remember.
Lord Liechtenstein, but if you'll allow me, sir, I'd...
Indeed. And...
Your plan, if I may be so bold. Sigismund may attack anywhere and any time. You want to wait. Fine.
I know you mean well.
I'd reason...
Do you realize...
And if a way...
Before that...
Do you still think that...
That's the way of... Some are put...
And if none of...
Such cases usually...
John of...
That was the original agreement.
But...
True. And by doing...
I understood...
Yes, he is. Only...
Although...
But he...
I wasn't expecting to meet the
Really? Half of Kuttenberg has accumulated debts with usurers that they cannot repay. The rabbi knows and that Sigismund will not protect them if something should...
So they
What's more, if Wenceslas regain...
On whose side do the wealthy burghers stand?
From the entire elite of Kuttenberg. Only Kunzelin, Ruthard, and Hamann. Not that I'm so... The king keeps a close eye.
But if...
We don't need to convince Ruthard. And Martin is already working on Alder.
Christ, what's the holds up?
Sir Kun...
You're Godwin.
Oh dear.
Have no...
Will you support?
That depends on what it is.
Do you think we should look...
I came here for one. If Jobs doesn't...
I expect you...
Why wouldn't I? She's John...
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of...
To her own relatives, certainly. But I'll tell you, Anna cared for him devotedly till the day he died.
So it's not true what they say?
Voice!
What do you think?
Or no.
He said...
Aye.
So you...
And isn't it not? They live in our city. But God be with you. Take a look at that.
Godwin, we didn't have much time for...
With pleasure, sir. What are you
Well, but, all going well, as long as we proceed without...
I couldn't help but notice your son has...
To put it mildly, But not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble...
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're right for...
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry...
May God grant him... Where did you leave, Sir...
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! Sir Hanush.
You do?
I've gained us...
And who is it? I hope it...
On the contrary, it's Bocek the Elder...
Kunstad? How the hell did...
Well, there's one little catch.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so...
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstad. Godwin, you can...
Oh, fuck.
I don't think so. Young Hans is to marry Kunstad's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that...
Or you could make me the abbot of...
Forget it. Soon I'll be... Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him my...
Cheers!
Cheers to you!
Sir Bocek.
So Hanush agreed?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers to the beautiful lady.
Here's to a good bargain. To success.
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan.
Gentlemen,
Is this...
Like I said, tell me.
I bring nothing from the house of...
Both of them. Good.
This is going to be a long story.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! Yeah. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter. Why haven't you done?
We don't know who is behind this.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do this. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least, and if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders, your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse...
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits!
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swill pot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargents, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here. With immediate, he will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to...
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks, but instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear result, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von... The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry, and we still wish to speak with our friend von...
Yes.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them?
Mind your own business.
And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of Jews.
We know.
waiter. Keep your
Otto
distance.
repeated to us several times
I'm
that
sorry.
it's time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet.
Beautiful.
Once you restore...
Interesting.
All you have to do is...
That's a good one.
They lost during Wenceslas.
Hey, waiter!
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace, at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few.
Nice one.
And get a couple more.
Great.
On my side. What of you? And they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair. For God's sake, what is this? Guards, throw this fool out.
What kind of a donkey have they sent me? Are you only deaf or completely stupid? I've never been so ashamed in my life. And in front of the king himself. Get out.
Between the two of us, Margaret, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are...